Latest news and great news! No more quarantine hotel stay required for arriving international passengers from the Green Countryries. Ating alamin ano bang ibig sabihin nito. Great news, everyone! Hotel quarantine stay upon arrival is no longer required for arriving international passengers to the Philippines. Pero teka muna, oops, before you actually rejoice, meron po tayong clause dito. Only from the Green Countries. Let's get to know more details about it. How we wish it's for everyone. Sana all! October 13, 2021, just few hours ago, our presidential spokesperson Harry Roque announced that as per the IATF, that there is no need for facility-based quarantine for the foreigners and Filipinos coming from the green lane countries or green countries kung kayo po ay fully vaccinated. Alamin po natin ang details. So upon arrival to the Philippines, there is no need for facility-based quarantine for any fully vaccinated foreigners and fully vaccinated Filipinos basta you came from the green countries. Now, for foreigners fully vaccinated from green countries, you are required to have a negative RT-PCR test result 72 hours before leaving your country of origin or at least 3 days before dumating ka sa Pilipinas or before you come here in the Philippines. So when will this start? Kailan ba ito magsisimula? So starting Thursday, October 14, 2021, the following will be required of fully vaccinated foreigners entering the Philippines from the green countries, and this, please take note, do not apply to tourist. Naku, nakakalungkot naman po. Ako, I'm really looking forward din na unti-unti mabuksan na rin po ang country natin sa mga turista. Pero syempre po, kailangan i-take into consideration yung safety din po ng bawat tao sa Philippines. So, looking forward po, tumaas pa ang rate ng mga vaccinated citizens. But anyway, let's just take a look. Medyo mabilis pong implementation and sana merong heads up or information prior. So, October 13, just a few hours ago, so implemented na po siya agad ngayong October 14. So, ano bang kailangan? For foreigners who came from the green countries at kayo ay fully vaccinated and you're allowed to travel here in the Philippines, ang kailangan nyo or what you actually need is a negative RT-PCR test taken at least 72 hours or 3 days before your departure from your country of origin. And one great news is once you arrive here in the Philippines, you don't actually have to undergo the facility-based or hotel quarantine that was mandatory for the past few months and weeks here in the Philippines. So what you simply do upon your arrival, present your negative result for RT-PCR and you will simply be asked to do self-monitoring at your final destination for any symptoms of COVID-19. At para naman po sa mga Filipinos na fully vaccinated and you'll be coming from the green countries. Now, you have two options, so you can choose any of this. So the first option is you can also choose to take the same RT-PCR test as the foreigners had taken. So it means that you will have to take an RT-PCR test at least 3 days or 72 hours before you depart from your country of origin. And then, once you arrive in the Philippines, you will just simply show the result, and after that, you will have to do self-monitoring once you reach your final destination for any COVID symptoms for 14 days. Now, the option 2 is you can choose to take the RT-PCR test at a quarantine facility-based hotel upon your arrival in the Philippines. Now, you can stay at the facility at least 2 days, 1 or 2 days, until you receive a negative result. So, the option is yours. Gusto mo bang magpa-RT-PCR 3 days before or pagdating mo na lang sa Pilipinas? Ako po siguro mas better if you take the RT-PCR test from the country of origin para at least pagdating nyo po dito, maximize na ang time. You can spend it with your family at tipid na rin po. You don't have to go na mag-hotel para po intayin lang RT-PCR test result ninyo. Now, how about for other Filipinos also coming from the green countries, however, not vaccinated, partially vaccinated, or individual whose vaccination status cannot be independently verified, or those vaccinated but failed to comply with a test before travel requirements. So what will be required from you? Upon arrival in the Philippines, you will be still required to quarantine in any of the DOH accredited hotels. And at the same time, until the release of your negative RT-PCR test taken on your 5th day of your quarantine. So again, maaring 1 or 2 days po, maari na kayong mapauwi o ma-release as long as negative po yung resulta. Now, alamin natin, we kept talking about green countries. So, as of October 8, the list of green countries are as follows. So, you can see the list from the screen. So, we can say, maaring marami sa inyo ang hindi po coming from this country. So, maari at madalas po, you might be coming from the yellow country. Kasi ang red country po, so far, as of October 8, then ay Bermuda. So, most of you will be coming from the yellow country at kung sakasakaling galing kayo sa green country, wow! Talaga naman po masasabi natin na it's a real great news for all of you. Sana all talaga at at ibang mga yellow countries din ay makasama dahil I believe marami sa mga OFW, lalo na po yung mga kasama ko din po, and at the same time, pati kayo po nag-iisip na saglit lang ang bakasyon tapos syempre ayaw niyong maubos sa quarantine. So, hoping soon it will be implemented also across po ng lahat ng mga countries. So, hoping po, but they're considering our safety. Anyway, so yan po ang ating mga green countries. So, should there be any update, I'll definitely let you know. But that is so far what I have seen from the. Now, let's just take a look and let's just summarize so that it will be easy for you to actually visualize and understand. So, again, arriving passengers from the green countries na fully vaccinated po. So, all foreigners, 72 hours before your departure, you have to take the RT-PCR test. And again, pagdating nyo ng Pilipinas, there's no quarantine required anymore. And upon reaching the final destination, ang option po ninyo is 14 days self-monitor ng inyong status ng inyong health for any COVID symptoms. Now, for Filipinos, on the other hand, we have two options. So, option 1, pwede po kayong magpa-RT-PCR test 3 days or 72 hours before your departure. Or, kung ayaw naman po, then no. But then, you will have to do your RT-PCR test sa arrival nyo dito sa Pilipinas at you have to stay in a hotel. Now, option number 1 again. So, therefore, kapag kayo ay nagpa-RT-PCR test, then you will not be required to do any hotel-based quarantine. So, ang gagawin nyo lang po, pagdating nyo sa final destination ninyo, 14 days of self-monitor for any possible COVID symptoms. I hope wala naman po, so that you can enjoy your vacation with your family. While, if you have chosen option 2, so the release from the hotel will be upon receiving the negative test results. So it may take 1 to 2 days before you could actually go back home or to your final destination. At kapag po kayo dumating sa inyong final destination, ganun din po, 14 days or remaining days na self-monitoring po. Yan. Now, how about for children traveling? Now, if they are not vaccinated or partially vaccinated, now if traveling with their fully vaccinated guardians, then they must observe the quarantine protocols that correspond with their vaccination status. And also, yung guardian nila will have to accompany them in the quarantine facility. Now, para naman sa vaccine status ng OFW, non-OFWs at mga foreigners. Now, for OFW and non-OFWs, if vaccinated in the Philippines, it can be validated by presenting this. So, one is yung Vaxxed PH digital certificate. Pwede nyo rin naman i-present yung Bureau of Quarantine or WHO, International Certificate of Vaccination, or prophylaxis or ICV. Now, at the same time, the National Digital Certificate issued by the government of the country where you were vaccinated. So, titingnan din po nila yan. Pero may challenge pa po tayo, lalo na like me. I got vaccinated din po overseas. Sa UK po ako na-vaccinate. So, at this point in time, I only have my card. But I'm not yet sure if how they will actually use it or classify it. Hindi naman po kasi nung pagdating ko dito ng second week of September 2021, hindi pa naman po siya ni-require tingnan. Kasi hindi rin naman po kami galing ng green lanes. But then again, eto po yung mga requirements sa OFW and non-OFWs. And for the vaccine status of foreigners who came from the green countries, so foreign nationals who can validate your vaccine status through your WHO-issued ICV or the National Digital Certificate of the foreign government which ay tumanggap or accepted the Vaxxed PH under a reciprocal agreement. So it means that kapag tinanggap ng bansang yon ang ating Vaxxed PH, then tatanggapin din natin yung any certificate coming from that country. How we wish all the countries will do that so that it will not be a hassle for all of us na, alam mo yon, magta-travel at uuwi sa Pilipinas. And of course, for international passengers who are coming from yellow countries, I know marami po sa atin are coming from the yellow countries. So ano po ba yung latest update? So the last update we've had was last October 8, 2021. Now, the latest rule is, so kailangan po if you're coming from the yellow countries at ikaw ay fully vaccinated, you will have to undergo a facility-based quarantine until the release of your negative result. At ito po ay magkakaroon kayo ng RT-PCR testing on the 5th day and looking forward the next day po, ika-6 na araw, the result will be released and if it's negative, you can definitely go home. And then, you shall be required to undergo a home quarantine until the 10th day with the day of arrival as your first day. Yan po ang para sa mga fully vaccinated and coming from the yellow countries. So, paano naman if you are unvaccinated or partially vaccinated or unverified ang iyong vaccination status? So, you still have to undergo the facility-based quarantine and then, yung RT-PCR test mo, it will be taken on the 7th day at you will be released. Usually po, 1 day lang po yan. Kung mag-estimate, katulad din po nung sinabi ko, possibility at least 2 days, but most of the time after 1 day and then you can be released. And then the only difference din po sa fully vaccinated is you as not vaccinated, partially vaccinated, you shall be required to undergo home quarantine until your 14th day with the day of arrival as your first day sa pagbibilang po. Of course, for balikbayans and non-OFWs na not vaccinated or partially vaccinated, 3 araw din po ang naitipid when it comes to booking sa hotel and more than that, yung time that you can spend with your loved ones or why you're actually here or bumisita kayo dito sa Pilipinas. Well, for everyone who is from the yellow country, so looking forward that soon, once we have more of our fellow Filipinos na mabakunahan at mataas na ang vaccine rate sa atin, sana ma-implement na rin yung similar doon sa in-implement from the green countries kasi talaga naman po, like if napaka-iksi ng inyong bakasyon here in the Philippines, you would rather, of course, spend it with your family and spend especially for the balikbayan. Ang hirap naman po, 'di ba, na shoulder nyo na nga po ang lahat, and then syempre yung hotel stay, talaga naman po unnecessary extra gastos yun kasi you would rather go to your final destination. But since mandatory siya, naging kumbaga talagang kailangan po siya. But then again, hoping po na ma-implement na rin yung similar na protocol para po sa mga taga-yellow countries. Ayan po. So, with that, everyone, I just simply want to say, stay safe and God bless you all. If this video had helped you, please click like, and I'm inviting you to please subscribe to my channel so that you'll get the latest update and other inspiring videos that will help you in your everyday life or when you're traveling. With that, everyone, this is Global Trainer Jamey Iris TV saying thank you for watching.